Tonight on EKB Evening News at 6. The celebration continues at Hillbilly Days in Pikeville. Good evening. I'm Gary Sloan.
And I'm Cindy Mae Johnson. We're in the second full day of Hillbilly Days, and this year's shaping up to set a record for fun and fundraising for the Shriners. Our very own Lathan Hopkins is right down there, smack dab in the middle of the action at EKB's Hillbilly headquarters, and joins us now. How's it going down there, Lathan?
A couple dozen friends behind me, in front of me, thousands of people making their way, of course, to downtown Pikeville, as you mentioned, for the second full day of Hillbilly Days. Another day tomorrow, of course. Down here for the food, for the games, of course, the food, and then there's more food. But another thing that they're also here to listen to is, of course, the Hillbilly music. And our very own Courtney Lovern spent the day listening to just that thing, that music. And that we all come down. You have to listen to it, and she has this report.
Along with food and carnival rides, Hillbilly Days is also known for its musical roots. People from all over come to celebrate Hillbilly Days with some local music. Musical talent can be seen from the streets to the stages in downtown Pikeville during the festival and is free to the public.
Well, it promotes the old original traditional mountain music. We don't play electric music here. The music we play here goes back for a couple hundred years, a lot of it.
The stages include the City Park, the Billy Johnson stage in front of the Expo Center, and a stage in between the old courthouse and BB&T Bank. Some spectators even have special connections to the music.
Oh, it's always worth it. I love it. I come early and I stay late. And my husband and I had our first date on Hillbilly Days on Friday night, so we consider this our anniversary.
People travel from all over to attend Hillbilly Days, including some who come from overseas.
We are from France, and we live in the north of France near Belgium and England. It's nice, we love the music, and we heard these people playing like 4 or 5 days ago, and we are looking forward to hearing them more.
When attendees were asked for their comments on the event, they were impressed by the shows and wanted to inform others about what to expect.
I would say, don't miss it.
Come and listen to the music because it's fun.
Good food, good music, and it's for a good cause.
Yeah.
Nous aimons beaucoup les Hillbilly Days.
For EKB Evening News at 6, I'm Courtney Lovern.
Wow, we got a French lesson.
Yes.
Lathan, I'm a little jealous. You're down there having all the fun.
Let me tell you, folks are still just pouring into downtown Pikeville, as a matter of fact. I mean, I'm looking just down the streets, and it's just a solid line. So sure, the booths opened up at 10 o'clock this morning. Folks always come down for lunch, but now the dinner crowd is moving in, and I plan on taking part of that as well. I'm just saying that maybe you guys will be a little jealous when I hit one of these booths for a funnel cake a little bit later. But boy, temperatures today have been absolutely beautiful. We had the overcast skies a little bit earlier. That helped keep temperatures down, but now, boy, we are well into the 70s and approaching 80 degrees, and like I mentioned, it's looking pretty nice, not only this evening, but even for the big day tomorrow, the grand finale, if you will, maybe the parade, that little parade that happens about 2 o'clock. Most people are familiar with that, and it is still looking very nice. We'll talk more about that forecast for the all-important parade coming up here in just a little bit.
I am.
He's having all the fun.
He is. Thanks, Lathan. While you could debate whether the festival began Wednesday night with the vendor load-in and carnival opening, or Thursday morning when the vendors opened up shop, the official opening ceremony took place yesterday evening. The ceremony began at 5:30 when former Pike County Judge Executive Wayne T. Rutherford made the announcement at Pikeville City Park. Many Shriner members, as well as other members of the community, were recognized for their service and dedication in helping make Hillbilly Days possible. Hillbilly Days Chairman Jimmy Kinney says he's exceptionally proud because he gets to follow in his father, Shady Grady Kinney's footsteps.
We've had several hillbillies that we have lost in the past 39 years, but this thing keeps going, and we got a purpose here. We have a mission.
Last year, the Southeast Kentucky Chamber of Commerce wrote a $83,000 check raised from Hillbilly Days to be donated to the Shriners Children's Hospital in Lexington. Well, coming up, tempers were on display during today's Floyd County Fiscal Court meeting. We'll tell you about that controversy.
And there was no shortage of fireworks last night during the Public Service Commission's hearing on 2 rate increases. We'll be back in just 2 minutes. With proposals for rate increases on the table for water and power customers, the Kentucky Public Service Commission held a hearing yesterday evening to get more public input on the matter. EKB News reporter Courtney Laverne attended the hearing where commissioners got an earful.
And all these minimum wage people, the widows, $500 and some a month, and we got a $600-700 power bill, and you're wanting more.
Tensions ran high as residents voiced their opinion at the Kentucky Public Service Commission hearing on Thursday evening. The meeting, held at Pikeville High School, was used to address 2 cases involving the Mountain Water District and Kentucky Power Company. Both companies are interested in rate increases, and the Public Service Commission held the meeting so they could gain public input on the issue.
The PSC essentially operates as the judges in these cases. So the members of the commission are basically the jury and the judges in a trial.
Citizens made their stories known to the commission in an open comment session after Melnikovich explained to the crowd about the rate increases and how they will affect locals. The proposals call for a 25% increase for Mountain Water and a 12.5% increase for Kentucky Power.
We obviously listen to what people have to say. We need the PSC, the members of the commission feel they need to understand what the impact of their decision is going to be on ratepayers. So it's certainly very helpful to get out and to listen to what folks have to tell us.
The public used the open forum to their advantage to get some concerns out in the open.
To go on a city sewage system, now you're telling me you're going to raise it 159%. I don't know how you expect anybody to do that.
You know, who are we fighting for here?
We, as leaders, are responsible for taking care of our people.
I mean, it's always good to get out into the state and listen to what people have to say, and I think it's to everybody's benefit to understand what the PSC can and cannot do and to know a little bit more about our process.
With the information gathered from the meeting, this will help the PSC make a more informed decision on the rate increase. Reporting for EKB Evening News at 6, I'm Courtney Levering.
The Floyd County Fiscal Court is still dealing with financial repercussions of the county's decision in 2005 to back a loan for Southern Water and Sewer District. Today, magistrates voiced displeasure with the county's continued financial support of the utility. EKB News reporter Shelby Steele attended today's meeting and brings us this report.
The Floyd County Fiscal Court has the next 30 years to pay off a debt that was issued in 2005. During today's meeting, magistrates were vocal in wanting the Southern Water District to take over the debt now that the utility is on its feet. Floyd County Judge Executive Ben Hale says the bond payment is the fiscal court's responsibility.
The bond was done for $2.9 million. It's a 30-year bond that they did. At that time, they did not try to get any kind of grant monies. If they did, they didn't do it, and they ended up borrowing the money. That was in 2005. It was issued by the fiscal court back then. It was for waterline extensions throughout the county, and so that bond was never done in conjunction with Southern Water. It was issued by Floyd County.
Magistrate John Goebel says he doesn't agree with the payment and the court should work out an agreement with Southern Water.
The Southern Water District as a whole is its own company, but we're on the hook for the bonds. And several years ago, we had a deal with them. They pay their bonds, and they should be paying their bonds because it's just a burden on this court and the people in this area. Now, everyone needs water, and everyone should have water, but Southern Water should be sold or should be a private company or a utility separate from the court. And that's what I would like to see.
Hill says the court will have to pay $180,000 every 6 months for the next 30 years, or the county will have to pay the consequences.
They will foreclose. They will come back and say, you owe this. If you don't make those 6-month payments, then they will come back and say, all right, you owe us $2.9 million, and it gets into a real sticky situation that I don't think we've any county would have that capabilities right now, just saying, all right, we're just going ahead and paying it off, because if we could, then why finance it for the full 30 years?
Hill adds that no matter what, the funds will be paid.
Mineral tax, we have some what we call LGEA tax that comes back from coal severance that comes within our budget, property tax that the people pay. It's all part of the budget, and so that money is not set aside. It's just part of our general fund budget that we have to make sure it's paid.
For EKB Evening News at 6, I'm Shelby Steele.
With the opening last year of the Floyd County Emergency and Rescue Squad's new $1.5 million state-of-the-art facility, the squad can now host statewide meetings at its headquarters. Tomorrow, the state of Kentucky's Search and Rescue Training Committee, which consists of 12 groups from throughout the state, will meet in Floyd County. Captain Timothy C. Cooley will take the guests on a tour throughout the new facility, which he says he's very proud of.
The Floyd County Rescue Squad has had many accomplishments that are far bigger than this anyway. Being ranked number one in the state, number 3 in the nation's bigger than that. So I'm certainly proud of that. But I'm proud of the respect that the state's given us now. That's what I'm proud of, and it means a lot to me because they're coming to us because they seem to like what we have, and we must be doing it right.
The subcommittees of the Search and Rescue Training Committee will meet for the first time tomorrow at 1, where they'll start discussing what they need to work on. Awareness training will begin on April 25th at Floyd County Emergency and Rescue Squad headquarters. Swiftwater training will take place the weekend of May 15th.
A Wayland man is facing felony charges after a police search of his home yielded a large number of pills. According to a police report, Kentucky State Police searched the Steel Creek home of 57-year-old Otis L. Collins last week and allegedly discovered 710 Schedule II and Schedule III opiates. The search also turned up 4 handguns, 1 shotgun, and an undisclosed amount of cash, which was also seized. Collins was charged with 1 count of first-degree drug trafficking because he also has previous felony on his record. Collins was also charged with 1 count of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon.
Coming up, Jamie Johnson rubbed elbows with some Wildcat royalty in Pikeville today. He'll be in to tell us about it.
And first, we'll check back in with EKB Chief Meteorologist Lathan Hopkins, who is downtown Pikeville at Hillbilly Days. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
We're going back downtown?
Yeah,
absolutely. I love it. So,
I'll
Lathan,
just stick around downtown. How's that?
we thought you'd get back up here in the
set
studio.
up shop down here. No, I'm gonna stick around here. I'm very happy. You have music, you have food. This is exactly where I want to be. So I think I'm gonna stick down here. It has been. Go ahead.
Can I just say, this is not a permanent arrangement.
Oh, it's not? I wasn't aware of that. Oh, man. Well, we'll try again. How about this time next year we'll do the same thing all over again? It has been an absolutely beautiful day. I'm willing to say now that the day that we had yesterday with the rain moving through, that's going to be the one day of rain that we will have to deal with. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Now let's just hope that it pans out that way. The Doppler radar showing just that. A beautiful day across southeastern Kentucky. We've had a couple of showers, hit and miss across parts of eastern Kentucky, but downtown Pikeville, that is indeed not the case. We have had overcast skies to start the day, but now we're looking partly sunny, and temperatures, of course, have responded very nicely. 78 degrees downtown Pikeville, 78 in Prestonsburg, 76 in Paintsville, 77 Inez, 79 right now for you folks in Williamson and Logan. A little cooler to the south, Wise, Grundy. Temperatures right now into the low to mid 70s, 74 degrees for both Wise and Grundy. Satellite and radar composite, we had a few of those clouds, as I mentioned earlier this morning, help keep temperatures down into the 60s, but boy, once the clouds started to break up the temperatures, boy, they really responded to that sunshine. We had temperatures almost hit 80 degrees in downtown Pikeville, and I think tomorrow we have a good chance of seeing temperatures actually into the the low 80s. We'll talk more about that here in just a little bit. The regional satellite and radar composite. Now, we do have a lot of rain to the south, but the good news is that's exactly where I think it will stay, just to the south across southern parts of Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. Other than that, not a lot to talk about here on the satellite and radar composite, except for a storm system there on the left side of your screen. That one may bring some locally heavy rainfall our way during the day on Sunday. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. Now, of course, tomorrow, the grand finale, Hillbilly Days on Saturday, 11 o'clock. If you're coming down early, temperatures will be in the upper 60s to near 70 degrees, 72 at noon, 76 at 1 o'clock. The all-important hour at 2 o'clock, 80 degrees, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, temperatures still in the low 80s, and 78 as we head into tomorrow afternoon. But notice I just went ahead and took the rain showers out of the forecast. It's only about a 10% chance of a shower or thunderstorm tomorrow, and I think that we will be just fine. So that is definitely good news. A beautiful Friday, and it looks to be a pretty nice Saturday as well. With the dry weather that is expected across the region for tomorrow, of course, the pollen count sponsored by Faith Pharmacy, Adams Plaza and Pikeville, back to 11.2 for tomorrow, but there you see the rain moves in and the pollen count will drop. 5.1 on Sunday and 6.7 as we start the new working school week next week. All right, that all-important 5-day forecast. There you see 20% chance of rain here in the last hour or so. It's going to be more like a 10% chance, so we're just going to throw it out all together. I put 79 on there for Saturday, but I was looking at some of the computer forecasting models the last hour, and it looks like low 80s, definitely a good bet across the region. So if you are heading out to the parade, of course, at 2 o'clock tomorrow, the only reason you need to carry the umbrella, I think, will be for some shade. There you see the showers and thunderstorms on Sunday. Again, locally heavy rainfall will be a possibility, and with all the rain that we have had recently, we could run into some high water issues yet again. 74 degrees on Monday, 70% chance of rain, and then Tuesday into Wednesday, we get back to partly sunny skies and temperatures in the upper 60s. So earlier this week, we're a little worried about the weather. Just could not get a break in those showers and thunderstorms in the forecast for later in the week, but now things are finally looking up. Beautiful Friday. Looks to be a beautiful Saturday as well, guys.
That sounds good.
It's great news for the parade. Lathan, are you still getting sunburned? We do need to know that.
Try me one more time. I'm sorry.
Just wondering
There's
about
a few people down here. I can't really hear you.
We're just wondering about your sunburn status.
Now, the sunburn tomorrow, it's going to be hot. I suggest you wear the sunscreen, the umbrellas, whatever you got. And remember to keep the kids, of course, with that sun out there. The UV index is going to be very high. Take it easy for the kids as well. Make sure they have the sunscreen.
Thanks, Lathan. Okay, we curious about sunburn. If you're curious about Pikeville's new White Lightning zip line and you'd like to know just a little bit more before deciding if you're going to take it on, we've got you covered. We sent some of our staff there on opening day to test it. After getting suited up in all their safety gear, our test pilots trekked to the top of the mountain and came zipping back down. And just so you can see for yourself what all the excitement is about, our very own Jill Fraley agreed to let the cameras film her on her journey.
A little bit further, okay? All right. Ankles crossed. You ready to go? And give you a push. Ankles crossed. There you go.
Wow, that's what she said,
Wow.
right? I think she knew the cameras were on her.
She did. We'll be back with sports in 2 minutes.
Well, quite a day downtown today.
Absolutely.
You had a big time.
Yeah, sure did, and we saw some special guests, extra special guests.
A lot of folks had a good time today,
Yeah.
meeting some Wildcat players. One individual came to town today, first of many that'll be in the area, and more tomorrow. We're going to tell you about that right now. It's Hillbilly Days tradition. Kentucky Wildcat players visiting Pikeville during Hillbilly Days. Today, former UK standout and projected first-round NBA draft pick Devin Booker paid a visit to the downtown location of Appalachian Wireless, where there were plenty of well-wishers to greet him, including a gaggle of screaming young girls. UK fans were lined up as early as 9:30 this morning in anticipation for an afternoon visit by Devin Booker to Appalachian Wireless, complete with autographs and selfie opportunities.
He's good at basketball.
I probably freeze. Oh, gosh.
You won 38-0, and I'm really proud of you.
I met him in Lexington. I live in Lexington, and I asked for his number.
Booker says preparation has been challenging since declaring for the NBA draft.
You know, I was working hard before, but right now, you know, I'm more focused than I've ever been. You know, I know this is the most important time in my career right now is just working out, getting ready for the draft, so that's what I've been doing right now.
Booker has been looking at the world through a windshield the past few days, greeting fans across the Bluegrass, and says it's been a wonderful experience.
Definitely these signing tours I'm going on. You know, just seeing Big Blue Nation at full effect, you know, it's unbelievable. You know, going to small cities I didn't even know existed. And, you know, it's just crazy how Big Blue Nation's all over Kentucky.
Life can be a little lonely on the road, especially when you're used to having teammates. Booker says, though, he's staying in touch.
You know, we'll be in and out of the gym. You know, I'll catch them while I'm going out and they're going in or something like that. And, you know, it's good to see them. Everybody's working. You know, everybody's ready for this next step in their life. And, you know, I'm excited to see what the future holds for us.
Coach Cal had some parting words for Devin as he begins this next step in his life and career.
He said, just go with your gut feeling. And that's what I did in my college decision, too, and it worked out well. So, yeah, I just went with that. And if you follow your gut, you know, you'll never be wrong.
18 years old and still in disbelief at the attention he's receiving from Big Blue Nation.
I mean, just look at this today. You know, it's crazy, you know, just all them lined up just to see me. You know, it's unbelievable. I never thought I'd be like this in my life, and, you know, Big Blue Nation, it's incredible.
Tomorrow, former players Dakari Johnson and Trey Lyles will visit locations in downtown at Appalachian Wireless, 10 a.m. until noon. College football, one last tune-up for the UPI Bears football team as Coach Al Holland's squad wrapped up spring practice with a scrimmage at Hamley Athletic Complex. Our own Michaela Colley caught up with the team at last night's spring game.
I'm here at the Hamley Athletic Complex where the University of Pikeville completed their spring game. After 14 practices, the Bears put on a show yesterday evening.
Oh, you know, the guys came out here and competed. They continue to grow. You know, this is more for the kids today. You know, we got to evaluate the kids day in and day out for the last 14 practices. But, you know, they enjoy this the most. And this is for the fans and the community to get out here and watch these kids and watch them compete and to see how much better they've got this offseason. You know, I like the opportunity to watch them in different situations with different teams that they're not necessarily with every day in practice, but in watching them just come out here and compete and make plays.
From the beginning of spring practice till now, the Bears have shown much improvement on both sides of the ball.
Defensively, we've been flying around. Coach is doing a great job, Coach Williams, is getting those guys to buy in and schematically do exactly what we're asking them to do and not play their own scheme. And that's big for us, is to be in gap sound and to be able to cover people in the back end in their secondary. And we got a good secondary. And you know, I think that's one of our strengths moving into next fall, and it hasn't been in the past. These guys are a year older, and they continue to grow and continue to get better.
The spring game is an important time to showcase their hard work and effort during the offseason to improve themselves for competitive play.
Oh, it's big for us, you know, just the competitiveness and the guys just pushing each other to keep getting better. And that's going to carry over to this summer's workouts, and they know what we expect now. When they come out here and do 7-on-7 and one-on-ones together this summer, they're going to know what to expect, what we want out of them every day. And that'll carry over to the fall and us to continue to grow and to continue to get better.
The Bears fell just short of having a winning season last year with a 5-6 record. They are working on the improvements they need to make to possibly have a winning season this upcoming fall. Reporting for EKB Evening News at 6, I'm Michaela Colley.
The Bears open regular season play August 27th at home, hosting Bluefield College. Reds baseball this weekend, Cincinnati goes in search of their first 3-game series win at St. Louis since Labor Day weekend 2011. Red center fielder Billy Hamilton has been playing well as of late. He is 7 for 7 in stolen base attempts against Cardinals catcher Yadier Molina for his career. As a matter of fact, the Reds are 12 for 12 in stolen base attempts this season, their best start on the base paths since 1987, when the team stole its first 15 bases successfully. Homer Bailey is expected to make his first appearance of the season tomorrow. Bailey is coming off surgery for a torn flexor tendon in his right forearm. Game time is 8:15 p.m. Pre-game status at around 6:45 tonight on Hit City USA 98.1, 104.3 FM, your home for Reds baseball. Finally, NASCAR Sprint Cup Series action makes its first of 2 stops at Bristol Motor Speedway this Sunday for the Food City 500 in support of Steve Burns and Stand Up to Cancer. Now, traditional race sponsor Food City adopted a tribute to longtime NASCAR television reporter Steve Burns, who was diagnosed with cancer last September. And many drivers plan to carry special decals on their cars in honor of Burns. Veteran drivers Casey Kane and Dale Earnhardt Jr. drove the fastest cars in practice earlier today. A field of 43 cars will take the green flag Sunday at 1 o'clock. Qualifying was going on as we went on for news time today. And that's a look at sports.
You a big NASCAR fan?
That I am.
I knew it. I knew that about you. How about you?
I'm not so much. Not so much.
Yeah, that's nothing I keep under the table. I love racing.
You wear it on your sleeve proudly.
Yeah. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Well, I think we need to check back in with Lathan. He's down in Pikeville in Hillbilly Days. Maybe get a quick look at the weather.
In all fairness, let's see how it is down there, guys.
You all just want to be down here. Let's all be honest.
That's
and
true.
I actually have some help now. I have the man of the hour that you're going to be hearing a lot from here over the next little bit. Outlaw Andy, he is getting ready. But if those folks are getting ready to head out to downtown Pikeville, still a beautiful evening, and things will continue to look very, very good through the rest of this evening and even during the day tomorrow. Of course, tomorrow is the big day.
Tomorrow is the
We have
big-
a few dozen people here
Today
now.
is absolutely gorgeous, a perfect day to hillbilly from the couch or from the boulevard.
We always have that one day. There's always one day out of the 3 where we have the rain, and it looks like that we had that day yesterday. Hopefully things will look a little bit better here today and, of course, tomorrow, guys.
Thanks so much, guys. We're a little jealous, but we're going to wrap up and head down there.
That's right.
Okay.
Sure.
Come on.
That will do it for tonight's EKB Evening News. Remember, you can get more local news anytime by listening to the radio stations of East Kentucky Broadcasting.
And you can follow EKB News and EKB TV on Facebook. We're going to leave you tonight with some of that great old-fashioned hillbilly music. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching, and happy Hillbilly Days.